All right, so for today's workout, we have 3 rounds. The first 2 rounds are going to have 3 exercises each, as we've been doing previously. And we're going to be doing 3 sets of each exercise. And then the third round will have exercises 7 and 8. So we will have 8 total exercises, and we're going to do 3 sets of each round, all right? 3 sets of each exercise. We're starting with the static knee strike, the squats and iso bicep curl with the resistance band, the toe touches and side crunches, which are body weight. For round 2, we've got the kneeling twist and pocket touch. This is something that's fairly new. We may or may not have gone over, but we're going to today. We're going to use the bridge and hip flexion. This is a brand new one I'm introducing today. We're going to demonstrate, and I'm going to use commentary as well to help figure that exercise out. And then we're going to use the modified push-ups, which we've been using as well. And then round 3, we're going to use the hip extension with the loop band, as well as the overhead shoulder extension. So I'm going to demonstrate each and then come back in later on mic'd up with commentary. So what we're going to want to do is have our gear ready to go, and then we can get started. And we give ourselves a round of applause for getting out of bed early. There's snow on the deck behind us, but it's actually about 45 degrees and the sun's out. It's a very warm, a mild morning. All right, we're going to start out with our static knee strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4 count exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bringing the knees up to the belly button. If I were to pause in the up position, I'm going to maintain my balance. We need to be controlled in all of our movements, all right? Reach up. We're going to try to improve that range of motion of the shoulders, the abdominal areas. We're flexing the hips. All right, we're flexing the shoulders. We're extending the shoulders too. We're changing the momentum from forwards to backwards, so we are forcing those smaller muscles to activate to change the direction of our body. All right, we're changing the height of the center of gravity, so we're forcing those balancing muscles to engage, and that's what it's all about. All right, so we've got a bounce in our step, as you can see. So we use that to our advantage. If we're feeling good, we use that good feeling, that good energy to our advantage. You got that warm sun shining, and that's what it's all about. You use that energy to your advantage, and then that energy that you use, you're promoting externally to those around you, all right? That's what it's all about, man. We want to bring positive energy to the universe, all right? We're taking it in, but we're giving it back. It's a balance. We're not allowed to keep it. The universe will get that energy back one way or the other through karma or whatever the case. And we want to naturally give it back. It's a sincere gesture to the universe that we're in touch with ourselves. We want to better ourselves. We want to improve the life that we've been given, right? So we're doing the anchored torso twist. I love this exercise. Now, notice I want to take my head with me. I'm not doing it. My head's on a swivel right now. The torso is twisting, but I like to emphasize the head movement, meaning that the head should go with the chest. This is something I wasn't mindful of in this exercise, but generally you want the nose to go exactly where your chest goes. See, I'm doing it now. I'm being a little more mindful now. And then we're extending the arms, okay? I'm more focused with the torso twist today than the extension of the arms. Plus, the resistance is kind of high for me, so I'm just gonna twist. That's the focus. And this isn't supposed to, increase the size of your abdominal muscles or anything like that. It's supposed to activate muscles that we've neglected over the years. And this stimulates these neuromuscular junctions, the connections between your brain and your muscles, and it stimulates more range of motion. And when we start working out with that improved range of motion, we then strengthen those range of motion type of muscles, okay? All right, so we can drop our equipment and move straight into the toe touches and side crunches. Remember, we don't want the back to be arched in a a concave manner. Actually, it would be convex in this case. We want the back straight on the ground, the lower lumbar area, the lower back area, and we're gonna bring our hands up to the shoelaces, keeping our knees slightly bent. I like to do this to reduce the amount of pressure on the lower back, or I'll keep my legs like so to even more reduce, okay? And we're just bringing those fingers up to the shoelaces, or as far as we can go. That's the important thing. Let's go to our full range of motion. Switching to the side crunch, I'll do them my way. I like to feel that side muscle, those obliques. I like to feel them engage, because what'll happen with the core, if those muscles aren't very strong, they will get very fatigued, and then your body will compensate with like momentum or other muscle groups, and that's what we don't want. So I like to feel those muscles to ensure they're engaging, because right now I do feel fatigue, okay? We've already done the toe touches, and then we move to the side crunch, but those side muscles are also involved in that toe touch. So you're gonna feel that burn. And notice my feet were off the ground, and then just for a different way, a variation, you can do this if it's easier for you. The other way requires some balancing, and those muscles have to fire to balance, and that's something that comes with time, that the ability to do those type of do that type of pose or movement comes with time. All right, so now from here we're going to move on to sets 2 and 3. All we do is reset and then move, okay? And we repeat those 3 exercises for 2 more sets. All right, and now that we're finished with that, we can go ahead and move to round 2. We gear up for that. All right, we're going to be performing an anchored exercise, and we're going to use the Velcro loop that comes with our equipment to Velcro to one of our extremities, specifically the ankle. We're going to be doing a bridge hip flexion that I'm going to demonstrate, and I'm actually really excited to do that for you. All right, so moving into round number 2, the exercise number 4, it's very simple. A kneeling, twist, and pocket touch. By pocket, I mean the back pocket, and it's going to be somewhere in between the side pocket of your pants and the back pocket. And you're going to touch the piriformis. You're going to touch those extender muscles on the lower back area, the gluteus maximus. You're going to touch, and you're going to feel those muscles engage. Notice I'm not leaning my bottom towards my heels. I am upright, I'm erect, and I am taking my nose or my face with my chest, okay? A little pep in the step. We're going to get moving here. So we've engaged those muscles that I just mentioned, and while I'm talking, as you notice, I'm going ahead and I'm setting up my equipment, and I'm going to ensure that the starting position, which will be the right leg straight like so, I want to make sure that there is plenty of tension from the starting position. The left leg is going to be bent at about 120 degrees, bent at the, actually it's not 120 degrees, it's less than 90 degrees, holy cow. And I'm going to raise that bottom off the deck. That's a bridge. And at the same time, I'm going to simultaneously do a hip flexion. This is a bridge pose. We are posing in a bridge position, and we're going to do 12 repetitions of each leg. It's a hip flexion exercise, but notice if you feel that glute muscle back where we were just touching with the torso twist, we are working the same muscle. So you should feel some fatigue in these muscle groups, and these are important. We want those buns to be prominent. This is one of our goals, is to improve our physique, and that's going to include weight loss. It's going to include removing that subcutaneous fat, but we're also building a little cross-sectional area or muscle mass, muscle size, okay? We're not getting jacked, we're not getting big ripped and all this. That's not what it's about, but we're increasing the size of that muscle while reducing the fat around it, and so it makes the muscle more prominent, right? Not only is it in better metabolic health, because look, it's the bone and the muscle that are alive, okay? They're both alive, and right now we're improving the health of both your bone and your muscle. That reduces your heart rate, your resting heart rate, your blood pressure, all of these things. It's fantastic. Your metabolism, your breathing, your body's ability to utilize oxygen. Now, I moved into the next one, and right there while I was blabbering away, I was demonstrating that if I keep my hands far apart like they are now, or if I bring them in close, if it's in close like this, we are working our triceps more, okay? And these are more difficult than extending like that, a little wider grip. That focuses more on the pectoralis, the pecs, all right? The chest area. And I'll go ahead and do, those were the modified versions, and then I'll just do one good set of my own of the regular ones. If you can do the regular ones, 3 sets of 10, please do. Do not injure yourself. Make sure you're going all the way down, all the way up, nice and easy. Good time under tension. Great job. So that's the first set of round number 2. Now we're going to repeat for set number 2 and set number 3. And now that we're finished with round 2, we move on and set up our equipment for round number 3. All right, and I really wanted to emphasize setting up that gear. So we've got on both ends of the resistance band this time, I took off the Velcro loop and I added a second handle. Okay, so we have a handle on each end, and we're just gonna loop the resistance band around. And because we're going to be doing an overhead shoulder extension from our backs, I want the band to be anchored about knee height, okay? It's going to be above our head as we lay down here. And the starting position, we want the arms fully extended up. There's a one-armed version. We're going to be doing 2 arms here, okay? We want to let the band guide us up there like that to the starting position. It's just assisting us with increasing the range of motion, and we want to allow that band to take our arms all the way as far as they'll go to the starting position, and then we engage and exhale right there and engage, right? Let it guide you. Now, I'm doing this for a reason. I started out with my knees straight, and that put some pressure on my back. I wasn't focused on keeping my abdominal and my navel pointed into the ground. That's the key to this exercise. While we are engaging the shoulder muscles, we're gonna keep the legs bent, and we need to keep our belly button pressed downwards into the ground. That keeps our lower back steady on the ground, but it keeps the core engaged, okay, for an extended period of time. If this exercise is in between 30 and 40 and 50 seconds, that's 30 to 40 to 50 seconds that we are engaging the core as well. And that is important, all right? This is a very big cognitive exercise that I highly recommend, and I'm so glad that, I've had some folks that have required this exercise, and I'm so glad that I do it. I do it myself. I incorporate it with my own stuff now. All right, and then we jump right up. We've got the loop band ready for our hip extension, and we move straight into that. We're on all fours, back straight. Extend the glutes up, extend the hamstring. The knees are flexed, hips flexing, and then the hip is extending, and the knees extending a bit. I've got a light band on. You can switch to medium and do fewer reps. You can start with a medium band, and if it gets too difficult, switch to the light band halfway through. This satisfies both power and endurance, okay? Two of the physical components of physical fitness are muscular strength and muscular endurance, okay? And then we switch legs. We're doing the same amount of repetitions. And we're just building that bottom up, right? That's what it's all about. We're engaging those muscles with the extenders, where the piriformis is, where that sciatic nerve is, okay? These are healthy ways to improve our range of motion when we have these issues. All right, and so that does it for the first set of round 3. We'll finish and redo exercises 7 and 8 for sets 2 and 3, and that does it. Great work today.